Okay, here we go, beautiful people. Welcome back again. So, I'm doing this video today. First of all, let me just check something here. The light in the screen. It's a bit awkward because there's so much light coming from outside. Sorry about this. So, it's changing. Oh, thank you. There we go. So, I said in my previous video called Sun Talk at Sun Portal that I would be doing a little part 3 about my Cosmic Love Lightship saga, lol. But that's not going to be the case today because what happens is that I always improvise my videos, okay? So I get the ideas, sometimes I just gather time to put the ideas together and then I do the video normally. Other times it happens that I receive the ideas and bam, I throw them out just like in the last video. And then what happens is that like hours later or the next day, I hear the video and it's like, holy effing shit, I could have had this here, I could have corrected this here, and blah blah blah, there you go. Now I'm doing a part 2 because usually the part 2s of my videos are always because of that. Okay, so here we go. I took notes. I'm looking there because I have my notebook there. I can bring it here, whatever. So just that I don't get lost, okay? Because I realized, oh man, I could have, you know, for people that are interested in this type of information, I think if it resonates with you, I think it can be quite interesting. And so that's why I decided to make it, okay? So let's pull the things out. First of all, I want to correct one thing. Of course, I said that the energy, when the energy would be, when these portals, some portals would be aligned with the planetary system, the energy will flow from the micro to the macro, but of course that doesn't make any sense, okay? The energy, of course, flows from the macro to the micro and vice versa, okay? It's a flow of energy, okay? But let's go back a little bit first so that you get the full context of where I want to go. The planetary system, okay, or the planet Earth or just the sun, they are independent beings with their own consciousness and their own structures, okay? So the planet Earth has something called Earth grids, just like we have, for example, the meridians in our body, okay? And these Earth grids, just like the meridians, are a mean to make the energy flow throughout our body. Then we have something called acupuncture points. And these acupuncture points are the little portals in our bodies which allow the energy, call it God source energy, whatever you want to call it, okay, this field of energy that keeps us going, that keeps this biology going. They act as little energetical parts for the energy, to flow through. The same happens with the planetary system, okay? With the planet, they also have these little specific points of energy, which are called just portals, energetic portals, okay? There's tons of them, okay? But I don't want to go there, that's not needed. What I want to say is that, of course, people, those ancient cultures, okay, at the time, they were extremely, extremely advanced to have access to this knowledge. Of course, they were not going to the fucking field, I'm sorry, and say, hey man, hey, wait, look, what a nice place. Let's build a site right here. Let's do 1 + 1 = 2, and we are, bam, fully aligned 100% with the sun, with the star systems out there, etc. Come on. They were much more advanced than we are right now in 2026, unfortunately, okay? Despite we have all this technology and all this, we think, very advanced world around us, that's the biggest BS ever. That humanity, most of humanity, of course, has no idea about, unfortunately. Although there's tons of information already out there, documentaries, if you are an informed person, of course, you know that. In other words, I want to say as well that the veils at the time were still open or slightly open. There was communication with outside the races, but remember, this is my perspective, okay? You are free to resonate with it or not, okay? And because the information didn't come from nowhere, I mean, it could have traveled from the last advanced civilization that we had. But I mean, to build those sites, I mean, you need a lot of advanced technology, of course. Well, I'm not going to discuss that because if you are an informed person, of course, it's not needed to discuss that. It's like talking to a child, the most basic, simple things. So, yeah, so they knew about these sites and they knew that there were specific timelines because you might think, okay, they act as portals, okay, but why would they align with the sun and they would align with star systems? If this, I mean, this energetic portals are always working just like in our body, okay? But there are specific timelines, just like, for example, the equinoxes, the solstices, just like we are going to have now the solstice, the summer solstice, uh, where they act as open windows, okay, for all this cosmic, let's say, cosmic structure to open up, and all the suns that exist at every level of it, okay, to fully align with the sun of our solar system and the sun that then aligns with us in our planet, okay. It's an open window to bring a bigger inflow of energy into the planetary system. And when I refer planetary system, I mean the human beings, the animals, everything that lives upon it, okay? And you might be asking, what for? Well, in my opinion, okay, this is my opinion. Once again, you are free to resonate or not. This is my intuition. I never talked about this with anyone, so I'm pretty sure that there are other people out there that, of course, this is a collective consciousness that also knows about this. I mean, factually, for me, that's a fact. For you, might not be. But this inflow of energy, as I was saying, it was an open window, okay, of a huge income of frequency in order to unlock more of the planetary system DNA. Remember, this includes the planet, the human beings, the animals, and everything that lives in it. And by unlocking more of its DNA, what would it do? We would advance our consciousness. Okay, that was an open window to keep advancing our consciousness and our biology as well, the planetary system. I mean, the planet itself. Okay, so okay, I'm looking at the notes. That's basically it on the first part. Okay. Unfortunately, it's 2026, as I was saying. This was never taught. Of course, I don't even think this will ever be taught in schools ever, unfortunately. We are very far away from where we should be right now in terms of biology and consciousness advancement. So anyway, I'm going to the part two, which is about the sun and the plasmas. Okay, I thought that was never taught. I was taught about the types of matter that exist, the three states of matter only, which are the solids, the vapors, and the liquids. Okay, I was never ever taught about the plasmas. I don't know why. I live in the south of Europe. I don't know in your countries. I don't know if kids are now learning that in high school or if people need to go to university and make a degree in sciences or astronomy or physics or whatever to have access to this info. Although this info is already out there, but it's out there if you are an informed person and you go look for it, okay? Otherwise, forget about it. Once again, I believe like 90% or plus than that have no idea about what I'm talking about. So, um, yeah, I also said water, but that doesn't matter, liquids. Okay, so yeah, I was never taught about the plasmas and that everything out there in the cosmos is actually made of plasma, like the sun, the stars, other planets, blah 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 blah. Okay. So another thing that I had to discover by myself is that the sun, I'm sorry, as cycles, as its own cycles, as 11 years where it is active, okay, and 11 years where it's not active, just like the volcanoes, but the volcanoes, they have another system. I don't know how it works. Um, and we are right now, probably, I believe, according to the information that I remember reading and seeing out there, we are now at the peak of the active 11-year cycle. That's why we are being beamed up every other day, sometimes every day, by geomagnetic storms and solar flares that comes from the sun, and they come full of plasmas into the planetary system. Okay, so that's what happens in this active time. Okay, and this is happening since ever. Go figure. I was never taught this, once again, in school. Why? Why not? I mean, of course, there is an agenda here. Of course, there's an agenda for human beings not to have access to this type of knowledge. Otherwise, they would advance their consciousness. And of course, there's people out there that doesn't want this to happen. Okay, so if this is the case, of course, these ancient cultures already had access to this knowledge as well. I'm sorry, let me just check. The light is always changing here because this is too much. Okay, that's good, I think. It's the same, I don't know, because there's a lot of light coming from outside. And of course, they knew about this. And probably they were already aware that in this 11-year cycle, it was also an open window besides the equinoxes and the solstices where they would gather. Hey, they would not gather there. Hey, let's get some sun and, pray for the agriculture to be good and blah, 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 and pray to the gods. Yeah, no, forget about that. So I believe it is, once again, my belief. For me, it's a fact, okay, because it came from my own line of connection, my intuition. This 11-year cycles where the sun is active is once again an open window, okay, for us, because there has to be a reason. I mean, nowadays you have all these beautiful sites, okay, that's good, because the information is coming out slowly. The informed people already know that the auroras, or some of them, know that the auroras are created by the plasmas because the sun creates the geomagnetic storms, and these solar flares that are full of plasmas, they influence the magnetic state of the planet, of the human body, of the human body, and it interferes, for example, with the electromagnetic stuff, blah blah blah. But there we go once again. What for? Why would the sun would do that? Why would we receive this income of plasmas? And once again, my answer is the same as the one that I gave in the first part of this video. I believe, and it's not a belief, for me it's a fact, okay? It's an open window, a huge open window, okay, once again, for the human beings and the entire planetary system, okay? Remember, this includes the human beings and everything that lives upon it, for the planetary system to unlock more of its DNA. And by unlocking more of its DNA, it's actually receiving more frequency, more energy, more information in order for consciousness and biology advancement. Okay, unfortunately, most of the population have no idea, not even about that. They don't even know that they are being beamed up with solar flares and plasmas, let alone the information that I'm giving you right now. But of course, this is my info, okay? You are free to resonate, you are free not to resonate, it's okay. And yeah, I guess that's all. I don't think I'm missing anything. It's just like, uh, it's sad. It's really sad because it's 2026, as I said. And unfortunately, I don't think we will make it to the point of that advancement because right now, humanity, the collective consciousness in general, are really putting their lives at the mercy, at the ends, at the mercy of AI, fully of technology. I have nothing against it, okay? It's just there is not a balance in here, okay? Human beings are choosing, most of the human beings are choosing not to evolve in terms of biology and of their consciousness. Instead, as I was saying, they are putting their own lives and their own consciousness at the mercy of technology, of AI. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to add up, correct, add up, whatever. I'm sorry. I was outside. It's freaking hot. And I just came in and I said, okay, this is it. This is it. Yeah. And because I thought I was going to talk less, but I knew it would take a little while to put all this all together. Okay. So if you resonate with this, I hope it's helpful and I hope at least it opens your mind a little bit more, even if it does not resonate fully. Okay. But at least that makes you think a little bit more about what's happening with all of this. Okay, this is my perspective, my information, and yeah, if you don't resonate, discard it. Keep going as always. Peace. Okay, so I'll leave it here. I hope you are well wherever you are on this planet. It's always okay. I hope everything gets well in your life. If not, I hope you really get well. It will get well. Don't worry. And I wish you all the best. Okay, much love, much peace, health, above all, always health. Okay, prosperity, success, whatever you wish in your life. And I hope, as always, you have access to everything that you need. Okay, so I love you very much, whoever you are. I don't care. I love you, and good luck. Okay, good luck with everything in your life. So yeah, that's it. I hope this was good. Take care. Lots of love. Bye bye.